Hello, everybody. It's me, Neck of the Woods. I'm back with another video. Greatness, in my opinion, is if you execute in doing something at least 95% of the time, then that would be considered great. A minimum of 95%, which is like 95 times out of 100. That's what you have to do for it to be great in something. And if you are aspiring to be great, then you need to execute 95 times out of 100. Now, the other 5 times you don't execute, well, you're allowed that because you're still human. And there's a lot of great human beings out there who have an off day here and there, or sometimes they just come up short, or shit happens in life, or things just did not go according to plan. That's okay. As long as that sort of thing happens no more than 5% of the time, then that person is great. So if you're a great person, you basically always have to be, not always, but at least 95% of the time, knocking it out of the park, or just executing. And also being great, not only that, you need to surround yourself around other great people, great friends, great acquaintances. You're working in a great field with great co-workers, supervisors, and managers. Or maybe you started your own company, your own business, and you've developed it into a great running, efficient machine. You probably live in a great community, meaning you live in a neighborhood that you like, that you appreciate, that you love. Actually, it's clean, it's nice. You live in a nice house. It's not ghetto. Your neighbors are nice and friendly. They have class. It's not necessarily a high income area. It could be, or whatever it is you consider to be great. But something about it needs to be great. I'm talking about a highly positive situation. That's what greatness is. You're basically successful, and whatever setbacks you may experience, you have to have at least learn how to keep that to a minimum, like a very small minimum. You can't allow too many setbacks or accept any setbacks, whether it's your fault or something is out of your control and it was unforeseen. You have to prepare against all of that. That's what greatness is. Greatness is something you have to work hard at. You lose sleep over in order so you can be great, because maybe your background, maybe your situation in life, your lot in life, your beginnings were not that great. That this is the case with a lot of us. You probably was born to your mother and she gave you up for adoption. That by her doing that, you now never met your mom and you don't know who your dad is. You had to figure it out on your own. You know, you don't let that stop you from being great just because that was your initial beginnings in life. Both your parents are probably the most fucked up, raggedy people on earth. And you were born to them some kind of way. And genetically, you are related to them. Surprisingly, or unfortunately, as it may be. But because of that, you don't let that hold you back. You try to be great on your own. Your parents, if this is your situation, they're not going to tell you how to be great because they're not great on their own. You have to learn it on your own. You have to study it. You probably come from a background, a family. Your family's poor. They always have this lifestyle of bad habits that you probably initially had because you learned it from them, but you're trying to break those habits. And then, let's say, for example, let's say your dad is the type of dad who's just not supportive in any way whatsoever. He's not a real dad, but he's your dad nonetheless, unfortunately. And you figured out just by watching and or observing certain people in your life who are great, like some of your friends and acquaintances or people you've met at school, at work. You probably come across some great people in your life, and you try to align yourself with those kind of people, and you try to incorporate some of their habits that they do. This is the kind of thing that great people do. And your dad sees you attempting to incorporate these certain lifestyle changes, and he just gives you the worst harsh criticism, and is very negative in nature, and is not encouraging whatsoever. And he just says all this stuff to you. Okay, you have to ignore that. It may be tough for you to do so. You probably don't understand it, but you know what you're doing is the right thing, regardless what your dad says. You have to push through, push forward, and not involve your dad in your plans in life. And that's unfortunate. That's going to make things more difficult for you in life to be great, because you have to cut your biological parent off from your plans and goals and dreams in life. You usually, a real dad will be supportive in what his son or daughter, but I'm talking to men right here. So especially men, especially other men, other males. A real dad should be supportive of what his son is trying to do in life. I'm telling you guys this because I experienced that myself with my dad and my mom too. You know, I come from two parents who basically were not the best people at all, but for some kind of way, I'm biologically related to them. And I just came out a certain way, a certain different way, that I want to be successful and happy in life. That's what I choose. And being successful and happy is being great. And it would be nice if I had a mom and a dad who basically was already great, and then they could have taught me how to be great. But I have to learn the hard way. I have to figure it out myself. And I figured out some things, and I'm still in the process of learning what greatness is. Greatness is, and I know we all have heard this, you have to be positive. You have to think positive. Yes, that's true. You have to do that. That's just one small step on your journey toward being great in life. But, you probably was not predestined to be great. I know I wasn't, based off of the parents that, I come from, where I grew up at. Well, I grew up in the suburbs, so that helped in a way. But whatever help or positive benefit that came from being born and raised in the suburbs was basically canceled out by my mom and her insanity. So, but you have to push through and push forward. And if anything possible, not be around your parents as much as you can, especially if you're a teenager or adolescence. Try to minimize the time around your parents as you can. It's unfortunate that, you live with your mom or your dad or both of them, if both of them are fucked up individuals. But get involved into things, into extracurricular activities like sports or something involved with the student council at your school. And then be involved with your friends, and try to spend more time around your friends. Hopefully they're your true friends and real friends. But anything's better than the negativity that surrounds you at this current time, if you're surrounded by your mom and dad or one or the other. Because no matter, this is another thing from experience, no matter how positive you genuinely and sincerely are inside of your heart and mind and soul, if you are around negative people, then it's all for nothing. It's like you're just being negative. You're being negative your own self. Seriously, even if you, if you're just negative and pessimistic, of course nothing is going to go right in your life. We already know this. We've heard this from some people. Okay, positive thinking, yes. But you could be positive all you want to, and you should be positive. But if you're surrounded in a negative situation, like you're just around your negative parents, that's as bad as you being negative yourself. So you need to separate yourself around from negative people. That's also another step toward being great. And also if you wasn't predisposed to being great in life, you need to expect hardships coming your way, because you're not great and you're working on being great. And it doesn't come easy for you. You have to prove to the universe that you are great time and time again. I'll talk more about this in another video, in a part 2 coming up. This is all I got to say right now. Have a good day, folks. It's Neck of the Woods. I'm out.